Hi, I'm Jeff Hertzberg, and I'm going to make today the rustic wild mushroom and potato flatbread. This is kind of a Provencal thing from this book. This is our first book, Artisan Bread in 5 Minutes a Day. You can use any dough from Artisan Bread in 5 Minutes a Day, or any lean dough from Healthy Bread in 5 Minutes a day. I should have said lean doughs from either one. Very few ingredients here. So there's some lean dough. This is a whole grain. Potato, herb de Provence, which is a mixture of things. Basically, if you've got some thyme, rosemary, I had oregano today, and fennel, that'll do. If you've got savory, marjoram, those are nice too. Some sort of strong flavored rustic mushroom. I'm using portobello today. And I couldn't find any sun-dried tomato in oil, so I went ahead and used a sun-dried tomato, kind of a tapenade, and garlic. Garlic isn't actually in the recipe. So why don't we prep that? Well, I feel like using it today just to be a little different. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, I like to chop the ends off the garlic and squash it. So peel away that garlic skin, which is now easy to get away once you squash it. And then I like to take a little teeny bit of water kind of on the knife like that, and now you can very easily keep your fingers out of that. Keep your knuckles keeping the knife away from your fingertips, just like that, and go ahead and chop that up. So again, use your knuckles to keep away and sort of square off one side, and now you can make slices. Well, let's square off two sides. Now you can make slices this way, really thin with a good knife. Okay, this is a portobello mushroom, and again, let's cut it really thin. Well, not that thin because I'm lazy. I'm going to cut it this way so I get smaller pieces. Okay, this is the Emile Henry flame stone, pizza stone. I'm going to put it out on the grill, which you can see there. So, okay, the Emile Henry people say this can go right onto the gas grill. And I'm putting it on high. They say it'll take up to 750 degrees. And we'll let that go for about 20 minutes and come back and put the pizza out. Alright, we call for about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, but I'm certainly not going to measure that. I just don't have the patience for it. Let it get nice and hot. This was already preheating a bit. And I'm going to put everything in at once. I'm going to cut up my mushrooms a little smaller. And we're going to saute this until the potatoes are pretty much soft, because you don't want to have to flash cook potatoes on the grill as a pizza. So I am going to, you can tell when that's hot, when the oil gets kind of streaky. Let's give it another minute or two. The oil looks nice and streaky. Okay, I'm going to throw all of this in here. You knew it was hot, right? And I'm going to throw in my herb de Provence. And I'm going to shake the pan around. And I'm going to grab a wooden spoon. And we're going to let that go until everything is nice and soft. Okay, so I've used the herb de Provence. Maybe you didn't see it. Some salt and some pepper. And this is almost ready. When the potatoes start to look translucent, you're ready to go. I've lowered the heat because the mushrooms were starting to stick. And make sure those potatoes are fully cooked through when they go onto your raw pizza dough in a few minutes. Okay, we're going to do our cheese, and we called for 2 ounces in the book. So let's actually weigh it. 2.1 ounces. Well, you can grate this by hand like I'm doing, or you can use any kind of machine you want, including a food processor. Okay, it's time to prep my pizza. I'm going to making a small one right now, sort of a single serving, so I'm not going to use all of the ingredients that I mixed up and fried up before. I'll make a small pizza now for one person, maybe one hungry person. And I've got my wet dough, and I just kind of lay it out on a board. I'm going to do it right on the pizza peel. Just going to pull the top around to the sides on all 4 sides and turn it. And as some of you know, we've got a pizza book coming out in October, so I can't give away any of the deep, dark secrets of how to get this really thin, but you can watch what I do. I'm not going to throw it up in the air. That remains a secret until October. I'm trying to get this to 1/8 of an inch. So we may let it rest now. One of the things people ask about on the website is, I can't get it to 1/8 of an inch. That's more like a quarter. What you do is, let it be there, and just come back in 5 minutes. So I'll see you in 5 minutes. Okay, let's see if it's relaxed. You can tell as soon as you pick it up. It feels different. Drop it from hand to hand. Stretch it with your fingers like that. See how much bigger it's gotten just in the last 10 seconds. Don't let it rip. Okay, I should have mentioned, I put a wet paper towel under there so it didn't go walking around by itself. Okay, now you use your fingers, put the potato and the mushroom mixture. Don't lay it on really thick. One layer is enough. If you see any thick pieces, get rid of them, because the thin ones do better. So, and this is obviously cooled down enough so I can handle it. We want to cover the whole surface, but not intensely. You don't want things overlapping. Tomato. Now my store, as it sometimes does, didn't have any sun-dried tomatoes today. It only had the sun-dried tomato tapenade, but I looked at the ingredients. It's pretty much just tomato. And so I'm going to put little blobs. We called for 5 ounces, I'm sorry, 5 tomatoes, 5 dried tomatoes, which are pretty small. So I'm going to put little pieces of it all over. It's a strong flavor. Taste some of it out of the jar. Make sure you like it. Again, let's make sure it still moves. It still moves. And now let's get a good sprinkling of the cheese, because you need that to sort of bind everything together and help it brown. You don't need the whole 2 ounces. This would have been enough for a whole pound of dough. 2 ounces is like, a quarter cup of grated cheese. You probably don't need that much. So this is probably enough. Let's just quick make sure it's moving. And it is. See that? We're going to go outside on the grill, and we're going to find our little stone, and we're going to just pull this out from under it. Let's go outside. And we're hoping that this new kind of stone is going to do the trick without burning. And we'll come back. We're going to look pretty quickly now. All right, let's try it. Ooh, let's get that inside. Okay. So you see the way the tomato makes sort of a beautiful orange tinge to it? So it worked out nice. Bon appetit.